Already here.
Dandavat Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat, Dandavat, Dandavat.
Dandavat, devotees. Dandavat.
Yeah, okay.
How are you, Maharaj?
Good, good, good. You all, and you all? You
E
all
você?
are well?
Todos também?
Okay.
Yes.
You all look healthy?
Parecem estarem saudáveis.
Yes.
Yes.
Mercy, Gurudev.
Jai,
And Krishna Keshava.
jai.
Krishna Keshava, how are you?
Can you hear?
No.
He can't hear. He's asking, how are you?
Yes.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Uh,
I'm okay. Thank you. I'm joining now.
Acho que ele está entrando ainda.
You can hear?
Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
What?
¿Cómo estás?
Ya, estamos bien. Usted, Prabhu. And you.
And you.
usted.
And stay.
You said.
And you.
Mucho gusto.
Oh, bueno. Bueno.
So Shanta Maharaj is going to come today, I think.
Sorry, Maharaj. We didn't hear. Can you repeat?
Yes, Shanta Maharaj said he was not going to come to the Sangha today.
Yes.
You've seen him in the past few days. I think he's not been well.
Yes. I have talked with him. Today I talked with him. He said that he's a little bit better, but you know, he doesn't sound like so much better. He sounds like tired.
Okay.
Too many things to do, Maharaj. Tired. Also. I was talking to him that he needed to rest to get stronger. He needs to take really rest.
I remember Govinda Maharaj was also ill many times, huh? And he would tell, we should not put our health before our service.
Yeah.
Service comes before health. So even though he was not feeling well, he would always try to do some service, some preaching.
Yes.
But I think that's not so good either, because and then you become very, very sick and you can't do anything, any service.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So we have to find a happy balance, harmonize.
Yes. Eu estava dizendo que Srila Govinda Maharaja sempre dizia que, mesmo que sejamos doentes, temos que colocar o nosso serviço em primeiro lugar. E que ele acha que temos que encontrar uma harmonização, um balanço entre essas duas coisas. Porque se você ficar só sem tomar conta da sua saúde, você pode piorar muito e não conseguir fazer nenhum serviço.
Depende da gravidade do problema, né?
Yeah. Shamagori is saying, we have to take in consideration the gravity of the problem.
Okay. Very wise.
Eu estou um pouco preocupada com o Shanta Maharaj.
Você quer falar?
Gostaria de
Fala, traduz.
que eu estou um pouco preocupada com o Shanta Maharaj.
She's saying, I'm a little bit worried with Shanta Maharaj.
Eu vejo a afeição dele de tentar fazer o melhor pelo Guru, trabalhar, fazer seva, são tantos os problemas, tantas as dificuldades, mas que é o que o Maharaj falou, tem que equilibrar, porque senão ele talvez não consiga fazer o que ele gosta.
I see that he's making so much service, so much things to Srila Gurudeva and trying to make so much service, but he needs to find a balance also to take care of himself.
Yes.
Momentos de muitas dificuldades e muito desgaste, né?
Yeah, it's moments of lots of difficulties and also of lots of tiredness.
Ele precisa descansar.
He needs to take some rest.
Dandavad, Uma Devi.
Jai
Dandavad Pranam Maharaj. Dandavad Pranam devotees.
Dandavad.
Dandavad
Dandavad Pranam Didi.
Sweet.
I miss you, Didi, from 3-4 days.
Yes, eu senti saudade de você, Didi, já de 3 dias.
Yeah, I miss you. I want to talk to you. I want to talk. I don't have your number, your cell, but I want to talk to you. I miss you too. Oh.
Is that celebration today at London?
This morning.
Oh. Did you attend the London celebration today?
No, Maharaj, I didn't go today.
No. Okay. I think Kanupriya Didi was
Yeah,
there.
Kanipriya Didi went and she will join after half an hour late. She will call me. She called me now.
I see. Opening of the temple in London.
Yes, Maharaj.
I will check, Maharaj, if Haryananda is coming. One moment.
Okay.
What's that? So that Sharmila did, she left the group, but that means that she was active on her phone.
Okay.
So I told she's been trying to come.
Maharaj, Haryananda said that he cannot join us because he has some things to articulate in his house to solve some problems.
Okay.
So he'll try, but he's not sure.
Okay. So we'll wait a couple of minutes, see if anyone wants to come. And anything, any question or news or anything wants to share?
Eu queria receber o Macharini dele. Mas traduz, por favor.
Ok, fala.
Eu tenho 65 anos.
Tá.
E estou vivendo assim, tentando me dedicar a Gurudeva já há 15 anos, e sinto que eu necessito dar assim um passo diferente, ou melhorar, não sei, dar um upgrade na minha vida devocional, e penso em tomar votos, receber voto de Brahmachari. E esse voto de Brahmachari, sei que eu poderia estar recebendo de um sannyasi. A primeira pessoa que eu pensei em receber era de Maharaja.
Okay. She said, Maharaj, I'm 55 years old, and I'm trying to serve Srila Gurudeva. I am feeling that I need to get a step further in my devotional life. So I was thinking in receive Brahmachari vow, and I would like to ask you, Maharaj.
I could not understand. She wants to? What?
Receive Brahmachari.
What does that mean?
Second initiation.
Second initiation?
No, Brahmachari vow.
Huh?
Brahmachari vow.
Oh, saffron.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dele.
From you, she say. She's saying from
me.
you.
Hare Krishna. I don't know what Govinda Maharaja's policy on that was. And I don't know why you want to take from me instead of Shanta Maharaj or someone. But I personally don't find any objection, anything about that. When I came to Srila, when I decided I wanted to receive sannyas from Sridhar Maharaj, my intention was that I wanted to increase my service. Increase my service. So if that is your intention, I think that's very good, very wonderful, to increase your service and remove your attachments to the external world more completely, so that you can focus all your attention upon going back to home, serving Krishna.
May I translate, Maharaj? One moment.
Eu entendi o parte.
She said that she understood the most.
Okay. Yes. So, yes. What else?
One moment, Maharaj. Eu não sei muito bem qual seria a política de Gurudeva nesse sentido, Govinda Maharaj. E eu também não sei porque você quer receber de mim ao invés de Shanta Maharaj, mas eu particularmente não tenho nenhuma objeção sobre isso. Quando eu decidi que queria receber sannyasi estilo Sridhara Maharaj, minha intenção sempre foi para incrementar o meu serviço. E se essa é a sua intenção, isso é uma coisa muito boa. Aumentar o serviço para assim removermos os apegos do mundo material e nos dedicarmos a voltar para o lar, servir a Krishna.
Sim, é isso mesmo.
Yes, Maharaj.
Intenção.
So,
Ele não negou.
I don't know the precedent, what I have to do to say, yes, you can do that. But maybe Shanta Maharaj has some idea about that. But at least I don't have anything to say that you should not do that. I think that'd be very wonderful. Oh. And you seem very deserving of that distinction.
Can I translate, Maharaj?
Please, please.
Eu não sei muito bem os precedentes, nem as normas técnicas que se tem que fazer essas coisas, mas eu não tenho nenhum impedimento e eu penso que será maravilhoso. Você parece me merecer muito essa distinção.
Nossa, vou ficar muito feliz. Nossa, vou ficar muito feliz, Como que eu falo isso? Eu vou ficar muito feliz se isso acontecer. Não sei se essa palavra...
I will be very happy.
I will be very, very, very happy. Because my heart is happy when I listen you, and I love my Guru Deva, Srila Govinda Maharaj, Srila Sridhara Maharaj, Srila Skamashanta Maharaj. But when I listen you, for me, is a great moment. My heart smile.
Hare Krishna. Let me discuss with Shanta Maharaj, then we will continue with that idea, okay?
Vamos seguir com essa ideia.
Okay. Nice. Thank you.
It's my blessing.
Dandavas. Oh my God.
Wonderful.
Nossa, fica muito feliz.
Are you the one who introduced everyone to Krishna consciousness in their family there?
Você que introduziu a todos aí na sua família para a consciência de Krishna?
Gurudeva, né?
She said, Gurudeva did.
Gurudeva. But eu fui a primeira e Yadu tinha 4 anos de
She was the
idade.
first.
Yes, she said, I was the first, and Jadu Gopal at the time was 3-4 years old.
Srimati era minha amiga.
Srimati was a friend.
E tinha a Nalini, que era pequenininha, que também era bem.
Yeah, Nalini was born in that year, basically.
E nos
nutrindo
para esse caminho de consciência.
And we always try to get some nourishment in this way of patch of the consciousness.
Okay.
E assim como outras pessoas também acabaram se tornando, né?
Yes.
A Merita, que fala da
Yes, as also we have also, Maharaj, a preaching group in WhatsApp here in Brazil.
Okay.
Some people are, yes, algumas dessas pessoas, sorry, some people received initiation there, and there are some people who didn't have initiation yet.
Umas 6 ou 7 pessoas acabaram sendo decorrentes desse
Yeah,
grupo, né?
from this group, 6 or 7 people received initiation.
Okay.
A partir desse nosso grupo.
And are in this group, always engaging in learning, studying.
Okay. I have one question for Shamaguri. Okay.
Ok.
What is the prayojan? Prayojan of our mission, of the Vaishnava tradition. What is the prayojan? Means the goal.
Qual o objetivo? Qual o prayoja da nossa missão Vaishnava? O objetivo dela?
A consciência, eu posso falar?
Yeah, speak it, translate.
Levar as pessoas, as entidades vivas, à consciência que elas não são essa matéria e que elas estão identificadas com Mahamaya e que a partir do momento que vem a consciência de que eu não sou esse corpo, eu possa buscar a minha verdadeira e real condição nessa vida, que é a de serviço a Sri Krishna, através do nosso Guru, através do enviado de Krishna, para nos encaminharmos para esta consciência, essa realidade.
Okay.
Ok?
Maharaj, I see that our goal should be to try to get the living entities to stop identifying themselves with the matter that we are for so long identified and search for our true condition. There's a servant, a humble servant of Lord Krishna by our spiritual master and the devotees.
Okay. But that's the external reason. What is the internal reason?
Sim, mas isso é a razão externa. Qual é a razão interna?
Como que eu posso falar? Resgatar, desenvolver a minha condição pessoal de amor a Krishna. Me entregar, me colocar para serviço a Sri Krishna e desenvolver o grande amor que nós temos, na verdade, por ele, e que isto eu acredito ser natural.
Okay. Try to rescue and develop true love to Krishna by making service to him and his disciples and associates. This process to try to inside us develop this love to Lord Krishna.
Okay, very nice. But you know the Prayojan Acharya. What his name is? Our Prayojan Acharya. His name is Raghunath Das. Raghunath Das Goswami. You know, from the 6 Goswamis, Raghunath Das. He is called the Prayojan Acharya. Prayojan, there are all 3 things. There's Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojan. Prayojan means the goal, huh? So Raghunath Das is the Prayojan Acharya. Sambandha Acharya is Sanatan Goswami. Abhideya is the means, that's Rupa Goswami. And Prayojan is Raghunath Das Goswami. And he taught that the mission of the Vaishnava tradition, the Vaishnava have as their goal Radha Dasya, not the service of Krishna, but the service of Radharani. The service of Radharani.
Yes.
So, means the servant of Krishna. Our service, our goal is to become the servant of Krishna, not Krishna.
Yes.
Directly.
Yes.
Huh? Okay.
Yes.
Você entendeu?
Sim, porque eu sei que se a gente quiser...
Yeah, wait, I will translate to the other deities, Maharaj.
Please.
Muito bom, mas sabe, nosso Prayodhana Acharya é Raghunatha Dasa Goswami. Ele é nosso Prayodhana Acharya. Existe Sambandha, Abhideya e Prayodhana. Prayodhana significa o objetivo. Sambandha, o que, Abhideya, os meios, e Prayodhana o objetivo. E ele diz que nossa missão, na tradição Vaishnava, é de Radha Dasya, ou seja, serviço a Radharani. Nós não queremos serviço direto a Krishna, mas serviço ao servidor de Krishna.
Okay.
Sim, e eu ouvi essa semana, nós estávamos vendo um darshan, onde estava dizendo exatamente isso, de Raghunatha Das, que se realmente a gente quiser chegar a Krishna, a gente tem que chegar àquele que ele a ama, aquele que cativou, que seduz Krishna, que é Radharani. E que Radharani realmente é a meta apaixonada. Nós lemos, estudamos isso. Foi?
And Maharaj, this week we read that
Raghunatha Das mesmo.
from about Raghunatha Das Goswami, who say that if you want to get to Krishna, you have to first get to that one who can attract him, Srimati Radharani.
Essa semana nós ouvimos isso.
I read this week.
This week.
But our interest is not in Krishna.
Yes. Mas nosso interesse não é em Krishna.
Radharani.
Raghunatha said, without Radharani, we're not interested in Krishna.
Yes. Raghunatha Das Goswami diz que se nós não tivermos Radharani, então a gente não tem interesse nenhum em Krishna. Nós não queremos Krishna sem Radha.
É acima, né? É acima de tudo. É querer quem agrada a Krishna, né? Sim.
So if you want to become more intimate servitor of Krishna, then we must change our attention from Krishna to Radharani. An intimate servitor means this, that to change our position, our attention from Krishna to our attention to Radharani. This is intimate service. Understand? We want to be the servant of the servant. Radharani is the servant of Krishna. Mahaprabhu did not come as Krishna. He came as a servant. He came as a devotee. Mahaprabhu should be understood to be the predominated. You know this too, predominated and predominator. Krishna usually incarnates as the predominator. But this time he came as the predominated. In the spiritual world, the whole of spirit has two parts. One is predominated part and the other is predominated.
Yes.
You want to say that?
Yes, sure, Maharaj. Assim, se quisermos ser uns servos íntimos de Krishna, devemos mudar nossa atenção a Srimati Radharani. E isso é um serviço íntimo, mudar nossa posição. Mahaprabhu não veio assim como Krishna usualmente, como o desfrutador, como o predominador. Ele veio como o predominante, como um devoto, como um servo. Então, para isso temos que entender que Mahaprabhu como a parte predominada e não predominante. Krishna geralmente encarna como predominante, mas dessa vez ele veio como predominado. Assim, no mundo espiritual e em tudo, sempre há essas duas partes, predominante e predominado.
Muito bom.
So most of the scripture and the incarnations have all been of the predominated aspect of the absolute. But that's only half the absolute. The whole absolute has both predominated and predominator. Just like in the Chinese symbol, they have that symbol, you know, with yin and yang, huh?
Yes.
They understand both parts. That also is our philosophy. There's a male and female, a predominator and predominated. Now, so the Vaishnavas from Rupa Goswami and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are worshippers of the predominated aspect of the absolute, not the predominator.
Yeah.
So that is important. Mahaprabhu is the predominated absolute truth, the devotee. And he came to teach us how to be devotees, and we are worshiping that, the devotees, the predominated. We want to become the servant of the servant of the servant. We don't care to be directly connected with Krishna. We want to be connected with his devotees and the highest devotees. This is the difference between us and others. And the Sri Sampradaya, they worship Krishna. Even though they're Vaishnavas, they worship Krishna. But Bhakti Siddhanta told, no, we don't worship Krishna, we worship Radharani. We are different from that.
Yeah.
The others worship Radharani because she's connected with Krishna. We worship Krishna because he's connected with Radharani.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Yeah. May I translate, Maharaj?
I'm sorry? Yes,
Can
please.
translate? Então, a maioria das escrituras sempre falam do aspecto predominante do absoluto, mas o absoluto total tem ambas as partes, assim como, por exemplo, no símbolo chinês do Yin Yang, ao masculino e o feminino. Então, os Vaishnavas, como Rupa Goswami, sempre adoram o aspecto predominado do absoluto, e isso é importante, a adoração desse aspecto predominado do absoluto. Nos ensina a sermos servos. Nós adoramos ele, somos servos dos servos dos servos. Nós não nos importamos em estar diretamente conectados com Krishna. Queremos estar somente com os devotos mais elevados. Essa é a diferença entre nós e os outros. A Sri Sampradaya adora Krishna, mas Srila Bhaktisiddhanta diz que nós adoramos Radharani, somos diferentes disso. Assim, muitos adoram Radharani, pois ela está conectada com Krishna, mas nós adoramos Krishna porque ele está conectado com Radharani.
Nossa, que lindo.
This is what Sridhar Maharaj taught. This is what Sridhar Maharaj is teaching us. This is what Sridhar Maharaj taught. And this is what Saraswati Thakur also taught. Sridhar Acharya Varga, our whole Guru Varga has taught. This Radha Dasya. This is what distinguishes Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta from all other Vaishnava Siddhanta. Other Vaishnavas, they worship Krishna, but we are the worshippers of Radharani. Understand? Very important how we are different from the other sampradayas. Even within our own mission, many devotees don't understand that. They may not understand, because that is the secret. Understanding, okay? That is the more intimate understanding of Vaishnava and the true understanding.
E isso é aquilo que Srila Sridhara Maharaj nos ensinou e aquilo que Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati também disse. Nosso Guru Varga é de Radha Dasyam. Essa é a diferença do Siddhanta da Gaudiya Vaishnava para os outros Siddhantas. Nós somos adoradores de Radharani, entende isso? Nós somos diferentes nesse aspecto. Mesmo em nossa missão, muitas pessoas não entendem isso, mas este é o segredo. É importante entendê-lo, ok?
Sim, é um conceito muito delicado e muito profundo, né? Como que eu posso dizer isso?
She said, yes, it's a really deep concept and very delicate understanding.
Yes, yes. So you read the books of Srila Sridhar Maharaj, and you try to look for that. What does he explain in his books? How he has described that. And also you can find in Prabhupada's books. If you look carefully, you will find the same teachings in Srila Prabhupada's books. That the worship of Radharani is higher than the worship of Krishna. Okay.
Yeah.
You can find in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prabhupada also tells us. Most people in general are attracted to Krishna. But we are attracted to the service of Srimati Radharani. That is our special conception. And that is what our Guru Varga is actually teaching. The inner conception is that.
Assim, você pode ler os livros de Srila Sridhara Maharaj e tente encontrar isso. Ele sempre fala isso. Mesmo nos livros de Srila Prabhupada, você poderá ver esses mesmos ensinamentos. No Chaitanya Charitamrita também vai encontrar isso. A maioria das pessoas é atraída por Krishna, mas nós somos atraídos por Srimati Radharani. Essa é a nossa concepção especial, o significado interno da nossa linha.
Sim, eu entendi. E...
I remember one devotee, I don't know his name, but he came to take sannyas from Srila Sridhar Maharaj. And Sridhar Maharaj told him, he says, yes, you can take sannyas if you are ready to give up Krishna.
Eu Eu me lembro de um devoto que veio receber sannyasa de Srila Maharaj. Ele falou, sim, você pode receber, com a condição que você esteja disposto a abrir mão de Krishna. Yes.
Yes.
And take to the worship of Radha.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Entrar na adoração da Radharani.
Sim,
Yes.
sim. Já, cadê?
Then you are ready.
Então você está pronto.
Oh, nice.
Umadevi, you like that?
Uma se você...
Yes, Maharaj. When Didi told, I feel also same thing, Maharaj, but I'm not qualified.
So that is a big question. Any others little questions?
Sabe aquela coisa que você falou, que algumas Gaudias, cada uma tem uma meta? Você falou.
Aham.
Como que a gente posso perguntar aqui, inclusive fiquei sabendo essa semana sobre isso, e foi muito interessante, porque como nós estamos no Ocidente não temos instruções, né? A gente não, eu pelo menos não conseguia estabelecer diretamente esse entendimento, e que a partir daquilo que você deu, que você contou, foi muito bom para a gente saber como as coisas funcionam.
Maharaj, this week I heard for the first time in my life that there are different lines of, can we say, Gaudiya Vaishnavism. There is our line from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, but also the Parivaras, Nityananda Parivar, Gadadhara Parivar. And I understood that this week I could understand the difference only. Because it's difficult here in the West to get this kind of knowledge.
Yes, yes. Yes, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was very concerned about that. And he tried to enumerate all the apasiddhantas that were not in line with the true teachings of Rupa Goswami. And he had to work very hard to try to clarify the difference between a genuine Vaishnava and these who are showing themselves or claiming themselves to be Vaishnavas, but are not following properly. Misconception, huh? So Guru Maharaj, Sridhar Maharaj, always emphasize the proper conception. One must have the proper conception. So we have to get that from a proper Vaishnava who has a sincere heart to follow the teachings of Radha Dasya and genuinely try to serve the devotees. That will be the more the pure way of taking up Krishna consciousness. When we try to serve the devotees, that will be the safer and the purest way to approach spiritual life. Otherwise, we may mix with sahaja and other conceptions that are not conducive to real spiritual development. Spiritual development, spiritual life. Okay?
Yes. A Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur sempre, de maneira muito preocupada, enfatizou e enumerou todos os apasiddhantas, ou seja, os siddhantas que não estavam alinhados com a linha de Rupa Goswami. E assim fortemente tentou identificar aqueles que são Vaishnavas daqueles que estão somente se demonstrando como Vaishnavas. Srila Maharaj sempre enfatizou a concepção adequada. Temos que ver isso de um Vaishnava adequado, aquele que tem um coração sincero e segue Radha Dasya. Assim poderemos ter a forma mais pura de consciência de Krishna, servindo aos devotos. Caso contrário, misturaremos sarrádias e outras concepções que não são condizentes com o nosso desenvolvimento de vida espiritual.
Sim, estamos vivendo isso na prática.
So, anyhow, I'm going to speak with Shanta Maharaj about all this and see what he tells me. And then we'll finalize what to do next time, okay?
Yes.
Sim.
Falar com o Shanta Maharaj para ver como fazer tudo isso, daí eu entro em contato com você depois.
So any other? Who else wants to take sannyas?
It's my intention. You know, Maharaj, 10 years ago, when I met Acharya Maharaj, I met in Brazil, and I was 11, 12 years old. Then he looked to me and, oh, you go to India because I will train you to become sannyas.
Santa Maharaj?
No, Acharya Maharaj. Then the time went out, then okay, I forgot that and keep making other kinds of service. Then when I went in India in 2018, Shanta Maharaj went to me and say, oh, you should receive sannyas, you know? he was always talking a little bit about devotional things, you should take sannyas. Then I think a few months ago, I told Maharaj, yes, I think that I want to receive sannyas. I need that. I want to stay in India, make some service there.
Very nice. How old are you now?
24.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. I guess. I went to Prabhupada when I was about 62, 1962, I think it was. 72, rather, yeah. 29? Yes, 28 or 29 years old. And I received sannyas about 10 years later, 39. But possible. Niriha Maharaj was also very young when he took sannyas.
Yeah.
27. And not so depending on age, really depending on your heart.
Yeah. In 2011, Maharaj, when I was in India, I received the Brahmachari initiation from Shilacharya Maharaj. When I was there, I stayed there for some time, but there are some problems in Brazil, so we have to went back.
Oh.
At that time.
You wanted to stay there?
Yes, it was my intention.
Okay. You like Navadvip?
Yes, so much.
Did you go to Vrindavan also?
Yes.
Which one do you like better?
It's a problematic inside my heart, you know, Maharaj. Like double love.
Yeah.
I cannot say that I prefer Navadvip or Vrindavan, honestly.
Okay.
I honestly cannot say. I always think about that, but the conclusion is always the same. It's both equal.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot see more to one or more the other.
Uh-huh. Navadvip is more forgiving. Vrindavan is very strict. Navadvip is more forgiving, so I like Navadvip.
Yeah.
For that. Aparada Branjan Pot, a place where all offenses are forgiven. If our heart is very pure, then there's no problem. Most important is to give up this criticizing attitude, especially to devotees. But if we can give up that pure heart, don't see faults in others, find a fault in oneself, that's a very solid platform. And then we are in a good position to progress in our spiritual life very easily and very nicely. Otherwise, the other attitude just is non-devotional, not the devotional line. We won't be able to keep our position, whatever spiritual position we reach, we won't be able to keep that if we criticize devotees. So that requires a special kind of heart, purity of heart and elevation of consciousness. A very good position to be in if one can come to that stage where he doesn't see any faults in others. We want to try to come to that position and stay in that position and go higher.
Can I translate, Maharaj?
Yes.
Assim, Navadvipa, ela perdoa mais do que Vrindavana. Vrindavana é mais estrita. Por essa razão, eu gosto tanto de Navadvipa. Lá é o Aparada Bhajan Path, o local onde todas as ofensas são perdoadas. O mais importante nisso tudo é abandonar a atitude de crítica, especialmente aos devotos, não ver falhas nos outros. Isso é uma plataforma muito importante para progredirmos em nossa vida espiritual. Caso contrárias, são atitudes não alinhadas devocionalmente. Isso requer um tipo especial de coração, uma elevação de consciência, não ver falhas nos outros. Queremos chegar a esta plataforma, nos estabelecermos lá e irmos adiante, para cima.
So this week I got my vaccination.
Yeah, very nice. Tomou vacina?
Oh!
No reaction, no side effect.
Nenhuma reação, nenhum efeito colateral. Very nice.
Just a little sore shoulder, that's all.
É,
But
só um pouquinho de-
otherwise, okay, yeah. I was worried that it might give some bad reaction, but it did not, thankfully.
Yes, very nice. Yes, que ele ficou suspenso com receio de tivesse alguma reação ruim, mas não deu nada.
Que bom. Qual vacina que você
We are very happy. Shamagor is asking which vaccine you took, Maharaj?
Pfizer.
Pfizer?
Pfizer.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Huh?
Moderna.
Moderna? Krishna
Moderna.
Kesava said it was Moderna. I thought it was.
Moderna.
Que bom. Aqui no
Yes.
Brasil, a AstraZeneca deu muito.
Shamagor is saying that in Brazil, Maharaj,
AstraZeneca.
AstraZeneca, especially to women,
Nossa.
give a really bad reaction.
Right.
Many women went to hospital and problems with AstraZeneca in Brazil.
Yeah, here it's not given so widely. AstraZeneca, only Pfizer, Moderna, maybe Johnson and Johnson. Okay. Yeah, Moderna. I got the Moderna.
Que bom. Que bom. Que bom.
Anyhow, both Moderna and Pfizer are very safe.
Yes. In Brazil, Maharaj, we do not have so widely other vaccinations. We have Coronavac, that's a Brazilian vaccine.
Okay.
That's created in the old ways. The weak virus is not synthetic protein of the virus.
Okay.
It's just the old virus broken parts, and also AstraZeneca here.
Okay.
We have these two vaccinations.
Another one I heard is good is the monoclonal.
No, I didn't hear about.
There's also supposed to be that President Trump, when he had the virus, it was given the monoclonal antibody,
Yeah, very nice.
and he became very strong after that.
Yeah. que,
That is also recommended.
que uma vacina também de núcleo monoclonal também é muito boa, que foi a que deram no Trump e que ele ficou muito bem depois que tomou.
Ai, que legal.
Ficou,
Que legal.
não deu efeito.
Que legal. Aqui a Coronavac estão dizendo que a gente tem que tomar novamente.
Yeah,
porque
seems
ela é
that the vaccine from Brazil that they are making here, Maharaj, the only problem that the vaccine do not give any kind of side effect. It's really small side effects, like just some pain in the arm. But the problem that the time of the effect of the vaccine is shorter.
5 meses.
Only 5 months of protection, and then you have to
Oh.
take it again.
I see. Anyhow, I don't know this thing. It's difficult to get rid of this virus. It seems the Delta variant is also causing a lot of problem, hospitalization,
Delta tá-
even
Yeah.
death. So Mother Earth is trying to give us a good lesson for some
Yes.
reason.
É que a Delta está causando muitos problemas e até mesmo muitas mortes. A Mãe Terra está tentando dar uma boa lição para nós, de alguma razão.
Anyhow, we are going on with
Yeah.
our service. Krishna Kesava goes on out distributing prasad on every Sunday.
Very nice.
Goes out preaching. Finally, we did that this year only. We had to stay in for a whole year before that, but now we're going out and preaching again. People are coming also. So despite the difficulties, despite the dangers, we're doing something, and that's good. At least we have some chance to do a little preaching.
Yeah. Que a gente nós ficamos um ano fechados e agora a gente está indo. Krishna Keshava Prabhu vai todo final de semana distribuir prachada na rua e também fazer pregações lá. E também às vezes eu estou saindo para pregar e algumas pessoas estão vindo para cá. Assim nós tentamos fazer alguns serviços.
Que bom, que bom.
You cannot do anything there yet with the situation.
Se nós não podemos fazer ainda nada aqui de acordo com a situação.
A partir de agora, eu acho que a gente já começa a pensar nisso, né?
Now that we took the vaccine, we are thinking to get open again.
Sim, que está...
You can use the masks.
Yes.
You know, that will help a little bit. Tell everyone to wear a mask.
Yes.
Sim.
We have some more. We have Maharaja. Here is like a small farm, you know. So we have also open spaces to make the meetings. And
Oh yes, good.
yes.
Better to do it outside.
Yes.
Get a tent.
Yes.
Tent
Yes.
also, you know.
Montar uma tenda fora, aqui fora para fazer as coisas.
Sim, sim,
Yes.
sim, sim, sim.
Nice.
E agora eu acho que a gente já pode começar a fazer mesmo.
Yes.
So who's the cook?
E quem cozinha? Both.
Okay.
I cook more Indian food and Shamagori more Western food, Maharaj.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Eu também gosto de pôr
Yes.
pouquinho indiano.
She said that she like to make some adaptations to Western food, you know? Is
Mas eu adoro comida indiana.
They call Indian fusion here.
Acha.
Mas eu
Yeah.
adoro comida indiana.
yeah, but she's saying I love Indian food.
All
Prachada.
right. Huh? What else?
Yeah, she made a correction. Not Indian food, prasadam.
All right. Let's have some kirtan.
Sure.
Sadhu Gopal, would you like to?
I can sing, Maharaj.
Yes, please.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Shri
Jai
Krishna
Shri Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Advaita Gadadara Shrivasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda
Shri
Advaita
Gadadhar
Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Shri
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Advaita Gadadara Shrivasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda
Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Advaita Gadadara Shrivasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda
Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Itai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Srila Guru Deva.
Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva.
Jaya Guru Maharaj, Jaya Guru Maharaj, Jaya Guru Maharaj, Jaya Guru Maharaj.
Jaya Guru Maharaj, Jaya Guru Maharaj, Jaya Guru Maharaj, Jaya Guru Maharaj.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Gaura Nityananda Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Gaura Nityananda Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Gaura Gadadhara Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Gaura Gadadhar Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Gaura Shrivasa Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Gaura Shri Srinivasa Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Gaura Dvaita Chandra Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Gaura
Gaura Chandra Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Gaurakanande.
Hari Bol.
Jai
Kacharya Varashtota Satshila Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj ki
Jai.
Jai Sri Prabhupada, Sri Guru Maharaj, Sri Gurudev, Sri Acharya Dev ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Giri Gaurana ki Jai. Jai
Jai.
Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Jai. Jai Gopal Prabhu, Shamagiri Prabhu, Nalini Devi, Devi Dasi, Srimati Devi Dasi, Uma Devi Dasi, and Kanupriya Devi Dasi, and Krishna Keshava Dasa. Hariva.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hariva.
Jai Sripad Bhakti Niskam Shanta Maharaj, Sripad Bhakti Vigyan Muni Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai.
All right. Page 38. Vandanam. Vandana. How's Kanupriya?
Dhanavat Pranams Maharaj.
Dhanavat.
Happy to see you. I'm very
Yes.
well. Sorry I'm joining a little late.
Okay. Vandeham
Vandeham
Guru
Shri Guru
Utapar
Kamalam
Shri Guru
Shri Gurun Vaishnabham Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sapadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Lalita Shri Kanvitam Shah Om Jana Timirindhasya Kinanjana Salakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha
Puja Shri
Puja Shri Guru
Guru
Varga Vandita
Bhava
Mahabhavanditaya Sada Purva Purya Parampara Prachalita Pragya Pramurta Kriti Bhakti Nirmala Nijarhasya Nirvitam Samrakshitam Sadam
Vande
Vande Shri Guru Devam Ananta Shira Acharya Vaya Purva Vishta Supurukam Sugana Ashisha Sambhushitam Achintya Samasta Veda Nipunam Srirupa Patananugam Govinda Pidamutvalam Bharatanum Bhaktianvitam Sundaram Vande Vishwa Gurum Chadivya Bhagavad Prenohi Vishapadam Devam Tiryatanum Sachanda Vadanam Narakachilanchitam Anananda Puram Seraka Varanam Ragya Vidam Bhutim Shri Siddhanta Nidhim Shibhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Varam Vande Tam Subharamedika Saranam Ishwaram Shri Radharam Shri Siddhanta Saraswati To Puriya Kuranvaye Asubhanariva Gagane Yogura Sankirtanai Mayavada Tiningolo Drakatan Uditi Jananiman Krishna Prema Sparikaham Sukam Radha-prabhum Tam Bhaje
Namo
Namo Gorkishoraya Dutamurtaye
Purangre
Purangre Padma
Padma
Bringaya Radha
Radhabhavani
Nishevine
Vande
Vande Bhakti Vinodam Shri
Pura
Rashaki Swarupakam
Bhakti
Bhakti
Sastraki
Sastragi
Samajam
Samajam
Radha Rasa Sudai
Sudhanidim
Gora
Gora Prashasta Sheshai Vaishnava Vande Vigraham Jagannatha Prabhu Vande Bhaktim Veda Vaishnavam Panchakalpa Tryvyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Panchatattvam Krishnam Rupa Surupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Namo Mahavaranaya Krishna Prema Pradhayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Trishe Namaha Jayatam Sudator Blango Damate Gati Asavasva Padam Rojo Ramadhanam Mohano Vidyatmantanya Kalpatum Madam Madhvanaga Simhasanasto
Shri
Shrigandharva Shri Govinda Devo Vaistaliki Sevyamano Smarami
Shriman
Shriman Rasa Rasa Rambi Amsivata Tatapita Arshan Venu Saner Gopir Gopinata Shri Yesuna Vrindanai Tulsi Devyai Yai Kesavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Pade Devi Satyavadhyai Namo Namaha Tanata Mantra Guru Bhagavata Tadan Yasan Jagat Guru Natam Tato Jayan Mudirayet
Jai
Jai
Samatkashi
Taparka
Sadguru
Shishi Gu Gavanga Gandharva Govinda Sundar Padma
Parapadmanandaya
Jayastu
Shri
Shri
Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Prabhu
Prabhu
Nityananda
Nityananda
Shri Advaita
Advaita
Gadadhar
Gadadhar
Shri Vasadi
Shivasadi
Gaur
Gaura
Bhakta
Bhakta
Vrinda
Vrinda
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Rama
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama
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 Hare
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 Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Acharya Dev Ki Jai. Jai
Jai
Jai Premanandi Hari Hari Bol.
Haribo
Glories to the assembled devotees, all glory to the world.
Jai Jai Hare Krishna.
I would like to sing Yasomati Nandana, page 16.
Chamagori said that you'd like to sing, Maharaj.
Okay.
Yasomati Nandana Vrajavarona Gara Gokularanjana Kana
Yasomati
Yasomati
Nandana Rajavaranagara Gokula Ranjana Kana
Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Kaliyadamana Vidana
Gopi Paranadana Dana Manohara Kaliya Damana Vidhana
Amalaharinam Amiyavilasa
Amala Harinam Amiya Vilasa
Vipula Purandara Navinanagara Pura Vansivadana Suvasa
Vipina Purandara Navinana Garavara Sivadana Suvasa
Rajana Palana Surakula Nasana Nanda Godana Rakoyala
Rajajana Palana Surakula Nasana
Nanda
Nanda Godhana Rakoyala
Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Sundara Nanda Gopala
Govinda
Madhava
Navanita
Navanita Taskara
Sundarananda
Sundarananda Gopala
Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Vatsana Hara Rasarasika Kripa Moya
Yamuna Tachara
Gopi
Vasana Hara Rasarasika Kripa Moya
Iradavalabha Vrindavatanattavara Bhakati Vinodashraya
Sri
Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Nata Bhara Bhakati Vinoda Shraya
Yura Premanande
Hari Hari Hari.
Vivo.
Page 58. Vaishnava Thakur.
Muito Vaishnava Thakur.
Who would like to say?
Alguém gostaria de cantar?
Okay, Krishna Kesava Prabhu.
O he Vaishnava Thakura Dayara Sagara Edase Karunakari
Hey Vaishnava Thakura Dayara Sagara Edase Karunakari
Diya Pada Chaya Sodha he Amaya Tomara Charana Dari
Diya Pada Chaya Shorohe Amaya Tomara Charana
Chaya Vegadami Chaya Dosa Shodhi Chaya Guna Dehadase
Jaya Vedanami Jaya Dosha Shodhi Jaya Guna Dehadase
Chaya satsanga Deha he amare Pase che Sangira ase
Jaya Satsanga Deha he amare Vasachi
Ekaki amara Nahi bhaya bolo Harinama Sankirtane
Ekaki Amara Nahi Paya Bolo Harinama Sankirtane
Tumi Kripakari Shraddha Bindu Diya Deha Krishna Namadane
Tumi Kripakari Shraddha Bindu Diya Deha Krishna Namadane
Krishna se tomara Krishna dite para Tomara shakati ache
Krishna se tomara Krishna dite para Tomara Shakti Ache
Amita Kangala Krishna Krishna Boli Daitava Pache Pache
Amita Kandala Krishna Krishna Boli Daitava Pache Pache
Amidaitava Pache Pache
Amidaitava Pache Pache
Krishna Dana Pabarase Daitava Pache Pache.
Krishna
Krishna Dana Pavarase Daitava Pache Pache.
Tumidile Krishna Dite Para.
Tumidile Krishna Dite Para.
Krishna Tomar Hridayerdan Tumidileo Dite Para.
Krishna Tomar Hridayerdan Tumidileo Dite Para.
Krishna Devar Shakti Dhara Tumidileo Dite Para.
Krishna Deva Shakti Dara Tumidileo Dite Para.
Dayal Vaishnava Thakur, Dayal Vaishnava Thakur, Vaishnava Thakur, Dayal Vaishnava Thakur.
Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur.
Jai Gurudev.
Anyone have particular bhajan they'd like to sing?
Alguém tem algum em particular que gostaria de cantar? Srimati said that you like to sing something, Maharaj. Okay?
Okay. Which page?
Let me, page 45.
Sri Guru Ashtakam. Samsara Davana.
Yes. She can start, Maharaj?
We have page.
Yeah, okay.
Samsara Davana Lida Loka Tranaya Karunya Gana Gana Twam
Samsara Davana
Naya Karuna Dhanagana
Praptasya Kalyana Gunarnavasya Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vindam
Pratasya Kalyana Gunarnavasya Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vindam
Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nritya Gita Paditra Madhyam Manasura Sena
Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Vaditra Madhyam Manasura Sena
Romanchakam Pajru Taranga Bhajo Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vindam
Romanchakam Pasrutaranga Bhajo Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vindam
Shivrigaradana Nityanana Shringarata Mandira Majanado
Shri
Vigrahara Dhana Nityanana Ratanande Machanada
Yuktasya Bhaktams Chanyam Jatopi Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vindam
Yuktasya bhattam chaniyun chatopi Te Guru Shri Charanarvindam
Chaturvida Shri Bhagavat Prasada Swadhana Triptam Hari Bhakta Sangam
Chaturvida Shri
Kritva Triptim Bhajata Sadaiva Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda
Vaiva Triptim Bhajata Sadaiva
Vande
Vande
Guru
Guru
Shri
Shri
Charanarvindam.
Charanarvindam
Shri Radhika Madhavayora Para Madhurya Lila Gunarupa Namnam
Shri Radhika
Tika Madhavayora Para Madhurya Lila Gunarupanam
Pratichina Swadana Lolupasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaravidam
Pratikshana
Swadhana Lolupasya
Vande
Vande
Guru
Guru
Shri
Shri Charanarvindam
Charanarvindam.
Nikunja Honorati Felicidiai Jajali Bir Juktira Keshania
Nikunjayuno Rakile Sithaya Jayantiyu Prakshaniya
Tatrati Daksha Bhajivalabhasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam
Tatra
Taksha
Daksha
Divalabhasya
Divalabhasya
Vande
Te Guru Shri
Charanarvindam.
Charanarvindam
Sakshadari Tvena Tamasta Shastrai Uktastata Bhavyata Eva Sadbhi
Sakshadari Vena Shamasta Shashraya Uttastata Bhavyateva Sadhi
Quinto Prabhuja Priya Eva Tasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam
Kintu Prabhuya Priya Eva Tasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam
Jasya Prasadat Bhagavad Prasado Jasya Prasada Nagati Kutopi
Yasya Prasadat Bhagavad Prasado Yasya Prasadan Nagita Kutopi
Jayanstu Vanstasya Jashastri Sandhyam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam
Jayanstivam Tasya Yasastri Sandhyam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam
Shrimad Guru Rastakameta Dushai Brahme Muhurti Patati Prayatna
Srimad Guru Rasta Kametaru Chaya Rame Mukhoje Patati Prayatna
Jastena Vrindavana Nata Sakshat Sevai Valabhya Janus Anta Eva
Yastena
Vrinda Vananata Saksha
Sakshat
Vivaivalabhya Janusnanta Eva
Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda.
Vande
Guru Shri
Radhavindam,
Vande Guru Charanaravinda.
Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur.
Jaya
Jaya
Vaishnava
Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur.
Jai. Gora Pramanande.
Hari Hari.
Haribo.
Jai. Amida Sindhu. Haribo. Andawat.
How wonderful to you. Enjoy all the devotees.
Dhanava pranams, Krishna.
Dhanyavad Kanapadiyo. Most
well?
wonderful soul. Most wonderful God sister. No, as you can see, I have very serious situations going on. So I have not been in very good health for a little while, but meanwhile, somewhat has to do with the fact that, guess what? I'm trying to revive myself. I have new dentures. I know. This has been most excellently as I try to learn. Oh, precious. Oh, Jai Gurudev, vibration, sound, listen. Acharya Maharaj, my Diksha Guru, he told me always, listen, but be attentive. Pay attention, concentration, focus. No matter what, these are just simple. Well, these are only, how should I say, difficulties in the vessel that I am occupying at the moment as I negotiate the ocean of ignorance.
Yes.
Puri Maharaj,
Dhanyavad.
Maharaj, please may I say how wonderful to see you.
You also.
Your sound is a little low to me, Maharaj. Sorry.
Oh,
This is why I'm trying to do all this kind of thing, because believe you me, all between podcasts and between everything else and all the apparatus I have inside, I have quarter-inch machines of all technology and so on. All of this I'm trying to amalgamate into succinct, how should I say, this is why these physical dispositions that I be given at the moment are quite simply to ground me, put the earth, perhaps you may remember, I was listening to one of the science and the last year's conference, and Maharaj, you spoke very. The notion about the fractals, I have to go back to that as a notion. And the fractals, and if you put fractals, if you think of a musical stave, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, C, D, E, V, F, G, A. Every good boy says favor, F, A, C, E. Okay, so that's musical. And each musical note has vibration. And there is a resonance in each musical instrument with regard to that resonant vibration. And within the jiva and in association to the grace of Guru, through the grace of understanding of education, educo, from the Latin word educo, to lead oneself, one receives education, always a student, from a teacher who has the wisdom, the acumen, the knowledge, experience, and so on, to be able to, how should I say, deviate in subtle proportions from strength to strength to strength, from Americano to Espresso, etc.
All right, very nice.
And when we were discussing about the cellular reconstruction of, for example, the propensities of regeneration within the worms, for example, to be seen within the canal, or even better, pinch off or if a lizard gets its tail removed, there is a regenerative process involved, which is inherent in this. And science may try to find the chemical properties which make this an exploitative. Why not? That's what science normally does, try and exploit something which is above standard. And in spiritual terms, excuse me, Maharaj, in chemical terms, the notion that the fractal notion of the infinite going into the infinite, and so therefore, you know the notion which I am referring to most certainly.
What are you talking about, the fractals?
Yeah, the fractals and the infinitesimal manifestation. You try to draw a line around a circle of a country, and you get its longitude, latitude, and so on. You get its measurement, but then you have no comp, and so therefore you have to go into every single little tiny. But you will never, ever, ever, no matter how infinite you go into measurement. Measurement can never, because it's always, always, always like cut off a fractal of a hologram, and you're looking at it. There's the complete image within the slight, tiny portion of that hologram. All of the hologram is contained within that just tiny little portion of that chopped out thing in material terms, but then you go into cellular terms. And so therefore that universal harmony and vibration is constant, and it's kind of like it's Mahavishnu lying in the casual ocean, in a sense, from a spirit, from Upanishads, Srimad Bhagavatam, and so on. That notion that Mahavishnu lying in the casual ocean, and that energetic manifestation is it's so constant and it's so diverse, but so minute. But minute doesn't have minute, because beyond minute there is more minute and more minute and more minute. And as there is expansion. And then you come to the notion then of the wormhole of energetic, but this is only, you see, the energetic notion of where the energy in the black hole notion would be where the gravitational pull can only exercise itself to a certain extent, because therefore, once the threshold is crossed, perhaps maybe even if, I don't know, haven't been through there, but is there a reversion? Because it's not just as simple as we know now, that it's not just simply an atom is a positive and a nucleus and a negative, because it's far, far, far more complex than that. But such is the limitations of our understanding. So therefore, Maharaj, sorry, I talk too much.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
And thank you so much for your lovely laugh, because it keeps me so happy.
Okay.
Because there's so many
No
silly
problem.
things said in YouTube Look,
Yes, we're lost in an infinity, a great infinity and a very small infinity. We're between them. Huh? The infinite, the larger infinite and the small infinitesimal. We are caught there. So our only hope is to go on the basis of faith. We cannot find our way through that infinity of infinities. So Guru Deva told us faith. Faith is the way to get through all of that. And that means faith in Guru, faith in the direction of Guru, faith in the will of Krishna. Some people are so entangled in trying to figure out the solution to the present day problems in the mud or in the pandemic or whatever it may be. But they forget who is in control. Mahaprabhu is in control. And we have to but follow him. His will. Not even the blade of grass is moving without his will. So we have to submit to that. That requires faith. Trust in the Lord that he is doing everything. And we are just his stepping stones. Mahaprabhu is dancing and we are giving our head to put his foot on so he doesn't slip while he's dancing. And we are focusing on that and putting all our trust that he will solve all the problems. And we only have to be his submissive, surrendered servants. Very nice. All right. Hare Krishna, Tony, I see you have come.
Yes, I'm
Dhanyavad.
here.
Oh, very nice
Thank
that
you.
you have come and joined us today.
Thank you.
So, Uma Devi, would you like to have a bhajan?
Anyone, Maharaja, which one you like?
You can choose one.
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More.
What page?
Page number 55. 55.
Okay.
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More. Tuma vina ke dayalu jagat majare.
Sri
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Koramore Tuma Vina Ke Dayalu Jagata Majare.
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More. Tuma vina ke dayalu jagato majare.
Sri
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Koramore Tuma Vina Ke Dayalu Jagata Majare.
Patita pavana etu tavahavatara mosama patita prabhu napai behara.
Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatara Mosama Patita Prabhu Napai Beara.
Aha prabhu nityananda premananda sukhi कृपावलोकना करो हमी बड़ दुखी.
Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Shuki Kripavalokana Kara Amibada Duki.
दया करो सीतापति अद्वैता गोसाने Tava Krupa Bole Pai Chaitanya Nitai
Daya
Daya
Kora
Kora
Sita
Sita
Pati
Pati
Advaita
Advaita
Goswami
Goshani
Tava
Tava
Kripa
Kripa
Bale
Bale
Pai
Pai
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Nitai
Nitai
Gaura Prema Mayatano Pandita Gadada Srinivasa Haridasa Dayara Sagara
Gora
Gora
Prema
Prema
Maya
Maya
Tanu
Tanu
Pandita
Pandit
Gadadhara
Gadadhara
Srinivasa
Srinivasa
Haridasa
Haridasa
Dayara
Dayara
Sagara
Sagara
Mahaswarupa Sanatana Rupa Raghunata Bhatta Yoga Sri Jivaha Prabhu Lokanata
Swarupa
Sanatana
Sanatana
Rupa
Rupa
Raghunatha
Raghunatha
Patayuga
Patayuga
Sri
Sri
Jivaha
Jivaha
Prabhu
Prabhu
Lokanatha
Lokanatha
Daya Karo Sri Acharya Prabhu Srinivasa Ramachandra Sangha Mage Narottama Dasa
Daya
Daya
Kora
Kara
Sri
Sri
Acharya
Acharya
Prabhu
Prabhu
Srinivasa
Srinivasa
Ramachandra
Ramachandra
Sangha
Sangha
Mage
Mage
Narottama
Narottama
Dasa
Dasa
Daya Karo Prabhupada Sri Gaura Prakasa Tava Jana Krupa Mage Yehada Madasa
Daya
Daya
Kora
Kora
Prabhupada
Prabhupada
Sri
Sri
Gora
Gora
Prakasha
Prakasha
Savajana
Savajana
Kripa
Kripa Mage
Eyadama
Yadamadasa
Dasa
Daya Karo Prabhupada Sri Gaura Prakasa Tava Jana Krupa Mage Yehada Madasa
Daya
Daya
Kora
Kora
Prabhupada
Prabhupada
Sri
Sri
Gora
Gora
Prakasha
Prakasha
Savajana
Savajana
Kripa
Kripa
Mage
Mage
Eyadama
Yadamadasa
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More तुम बिना के दयालो जगतो मजारे
Sri
Sri
Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Prabhu
Prabhu
Daya
Daya
Kora
Kora
More
More Oma
Omavina
Vina Ke
Kedayalu
Dayalu
Jagatama
Jagatamachare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Hare Rama
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama Rama
Rama Rama
Rama
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva.
Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru
Jaya
Deva.
Guru Deva.
Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva.
Jaya Guru Deva,
Jaya
Guru
Guru
Deva,
Deva,
Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva.
Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Nitai Gaura Chandra Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Jai.
Srila Narottam Das Thakur ki jai.
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 Srimati Uma Devi ki jai.
Jai.
Jai. Dhanyavad Uma Devi. Nice to see you. Dhanyavad.
Yes, Prabhu. I miss you, Prabhu.
Anyone else like to chant kirtan?
Alguém mais gostaria de cantar um kirtan, alguma coisa?
Don't mind Maharaj to sing.
Yes, please.
What would you like, Maharaj?
What would I like? Whatever bhajan you like.
Page 65.
65.
Nitai Parakamat.
Nitai Pada. I've got one other tune in my head. I can sing it to a different tune, Maharaj, or the other tune.
Whatever. What I don't know which tunes you were thinking about.
Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Shushita. No, I can't think of a tune now, Maharaj. Someone was singing it in a different tune, and so it's the other one.
Nitai Pada Kamala
Koti Chandra Shushitala Chechaya Jagata Judai.
Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Sushitala Yechaya Jagata Judaya.
Enai Nitai Vene Pai Radha Krishna Pai Tenai.
Ena Nitai Vine Bai Radha Krishna Poitenai.
Rita Kori Dara Nitai Rapai.
Dridhakari Dada Nitaya Rapai.
Te Sambandha Nahi Jara Vritta Janma Gelotara. Stay Pashu Pada Durachara.
Se Sambandha Nahiyara Vritta Janma Gelata. Se Pashu Pada Durachara.
Nitai na palila mukhi, majila shamshara shukhi.
Nitai Balila Mukhe Majila Samsara Sukhe.
Vidya kuli ki kori vitara.
Vidya
Kule Chitari Betara
Ahankare Mata Haina Nitai Pada Parashriya Satya Satya Korima Hani
Ahankare Mata Haina Nitai Pada Pasariya Asatyare Satya Karimani
Nitaye Karuna Habe Vracharata Krishna Pabe
Nitya Karuna Habe Radhe Radha Krishna Pabe
Dara Nitaye Charam Dukani
Dara Nitaye Charandukani
Nitaye Charana Satya Tahara Sevaka Nitya Nitai Pada Sadakara Asha
Nitaye Charana Satya Tahara Sevaka Nitya Nitai Pada Sadakara Asa
Narotomo Patatuki Nitai More Koroshuki
Narotama Bada Duki Nitai More Padashuki
Rakaranga Charanirapasa
Rakaranga Charanera Pasa
Rakaranga Charanirapasa
Rakaranga Charanera Pasa
Toyonitai, 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 Toyonitai.
Dayonitai, 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 Dayonitai.
Toyonitai, 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 Toyonitai.
Dayonitai, 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 Dayonitai.
Toyonitai.
Jai.
Does Tony have a book? Tony, do you have one of these kirtan books? Tony, there? Is he muted?
Maybe he stepped away.
Okay. Then Amiya Sindhu Prabhu, Ocean of Love. There he is. Would you like to read the English to this?
Oh, most certainly, Maharaj.
Okay.
I'll be most privileged.
Right.
Dhanyavad. But sadly,
65?
yeah, sadly, Maharaj, any chance you could do a screen share?
What did you say?
I can hold the book. Can you see?
No, Kanapuru, please may I have your majestic voice do English translation? Particularly, no, most please. How wonderful.
I can see this. You can see?
Yeah, I can see, but I so much more prefer that your auspicious voice is so wonderful. You held such tuning, such beautiful intonation in singing the banjo. Please give us an English translation. Dhanyavad Kanupariyo. I honestly, please read English translation. Your accent is beautiful, and that's a little connotation to the other thing that I sent you earlier on.
Okay.
You understand about accents?
Okay.
Sorry, excuse me.
We're going to share the screen.
Cool.
So you can see it.
Okay.
Can you see it? Maybe too small. There. Huh? Can you see that now?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay.
Okay. Cooling like 10 million moons. Nitya's lotus feet soothe the world with their shade. Oh, brother, Nitya, you cannot reach Radha Krishna. Firmly grasp Nitya's feet. The life of one who has had no connection with Nitya passed in vain. Such an animal is very wicked. What would a learning, aristocratic bird do for one who was immersed in worldly pleasures and never called aloud, Nitai? Maddened with pride, forgetting Nitai's feet, I accept untruth as truth. When Nitai bestows his mercy, will you reach Radha Krishna in Raja? Grasp Nitya's feet. Nitya's feet are truth, and his servants are eternal. Always aspire for Nitya's feet. Notaram is very sad. Notaram is very sad. Oh, Nitai, make me happy. Keep me beside your reddish feet.
Okay. Now I have a question for you, Ami. Who is Nitai?
In my ignorance, Maharaj, I have no idea.
Nitai is Gurudev.
Gurudev.
Okay.
I am so familiar with the name and the names and so on, but very often, whilst I am immersed in names, I do not always understand what they are.
Yes. So Nitai is the general representative of Guru.
Nitai.
Nitai. So what Narottam Das Thakur is saying here, all these things that he said about Nitai, he means Guru. So, oh Gurudev, make me happy, keep me beside your reddish feet. This is what he's saying here. Gurudev's feet are truth, and his servants are eternal. Always aspire for Gurudev's feet. Narottam is very sad. Oh Gurudev, make me happy, keep me beside your reddish feet. What he is saying. Maddened with pride, forgetting Gurudev's feet, I accept untruth as truth. Okay. When Gurudev bestows his mercy, we reach Radha Krishna and Raja. Grasp Gurudev's feet. Understand? Then this makes it practical. When we understand. Okay.
Maharaj?
Yes.
May I ask a question, please?
Please, yes.
Under current circumstances and with the incredible influx and accessibility information, this, that, the other way, whatever octave, whatever, during the symphony of life and social media and so on, which is a symphony, a cacophony even, of misinformation and so on. I beg the mercy of my Gurudev and the emphasis always has been upon the heart and the intention. And my Guru, Sri Acharya Maharaj is my Diksha Guru, Shanta Maharaj is my Siksha Guru, and you, Samhara system is so wonderfully exfoliating in terms of truth, because some of the nonsense that exists out there in that, all that other stuff. And this is where, when we share in association the sincerity of our voice as we listen and share Banja and so on, and especially when in association with you, Puri Maharaj, you have such an incredible vibration, even be it through the limitations of broadband, this band, that band, the other band, your eyes, your effluence, your majesty, and your association is so much to be graced, Maharaj, and I thank you so much. There's so much bullshit from Hollywood Maharajas and popcorn Maharajas.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Haribol! Jai Gurudev!
Jai Miya Sindhu Prabhu Ki Jai.
Jai! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Very nice. All right. Then now, Tony Prabhu, what do you have any questions?
No,
about
thank you.
what we're doing? Okay. Do you have the book that we're reading, that we're singing with the Kirtan book? You don't. Okay.
Ajay mentioned he was going to drop it off in your mailbox. I don't know if he's done that yet.
No. All right. Something happened. So we'll go then to our reading of Prapanna Jivanamrita. This coming weekend, well, Monday at least, is Janmashtami. And I hope you all have a very nice program set up for celebrating Janmashtami. And also, it is Srila Prabhupada's 125th anniversary. Appearance day anniversary. Prabhupada appears on Nandotsav, the celebration that Nanda Maharaj has of course Krishna's birth. Prabhupada's appearance day comes every year at that time. Okay. So it'd be nice. Everyone should have a nice program to celebrate those days. Wonder show Prabhupada, we got picture. We got a special picture of Srila Prabhupada, or we're going to show at the tent.
I have to say, Maharaj.
Nice. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Jai.
So I'm on page 92, text 3. You don't have to show that, huh? Oh, for Tony? Okay, so it's called the Prapanna Jivanamrita by Srila Maharaj. Jai Srila Bhakti Rakshak Goswami Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai.
Page text number 3 on page, what did I say, 92?
92.
Yes. Prabhu, you want to read this Sanskrit?
Shri Bhagavato Bhakta Bhavim Ashraya Pratanam Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddho Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaya Stita Yuli Sadrisham Vichintaya Shri Shri Bhagavatas Chaitanya Chandrasya.
So this is one of the 8 teachings, the Shikshastakam, of the 8 Shikshastakam of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddho Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Stita Tuli Sadrisham Vichintaya. Okay, here, Guru Sridhara says, appearing as his own devotee, the Supreme Lord himself prays for refuge. We were saying before with Samaguri Mataji, and that Krishna comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not as Krishna. When Krishna comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is the devotee. He appears as his own devotee. Devotee means the predominated. Krishna is predominated. Krishna comes as the devotee is the predominated. He's the energy, or she, or the energy of the Lord. Well, you may think energy is so powerful, huh? Yes, it is. But there's something more powerful than energy. What is that? The source, the dynamo. Energy won't be there without the dynamo. Dynamo, dynamo generates energy. It produces energy. It's like the sun is producing the sunshine. Sunshine is the energy from the sun. But without the sun, there won't be any sunshine. Sunshine burns us. Of course, if you go to the sun planet, you also get burned. But so the energy is very powerful, very strong also. But it also it has its dependence. So Krishna as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the appearance not of Krishna, but of Krishna's devotee. It's Krishna as his own devotee. Of course, it's also Krishna, but it's Krishna in the form of his devotee. Absolute Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati told has 2 moieties. He called them moieties. Moieties means part, half a part, half of a whole moiety. He said Krishna had 2 moieties, the predominating and the predominated. If you think of the absolute truth and you don't include the predominated and only the predominating, then you haven't gotten the whole truth. Don't get the whole truth. If you say only yin and not yang, you only have half the truth. So Krishna has both. Krishna
Can I ask a
has
question,
predominator
Maharaj?
and I'm sorry?
Can I ask a question, Maharaj?
Yes.
When you're speaking of that with the predominator and the predominated regarding Krishna, are you talking about
Radha and
Krishna? Radha and Krishna?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Radharani is the Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Radharani is the Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead. Well, we have to think like this. If you say king, and not complete by itself. Only meaning of king is that he is the king of something. He has to have some subject, some queen, some land that he's king of. He can't be king by himself. No such thing. Lord. If we say the Lord, Lord means there must be something to lord it over. Otherwise, how is he the Lord? Right? So Krishna also means Radharani and the gopis and the cowherd boys and Vrindavan and so forth and so on. The whole creation. God has no meaning if he doesn't have creation. You look up God means the creator. You'll see it in the dictionary. He has to have some creation, something that he's producing. That is God. So Krishna is the dynamo, is the source of all things. Aham sarvasya prabhu. I am the source of everything, he says in the Bhagavad Gita. That is God. That is Krishna. But here, as Mahaprabhu, he's coming as the devotee of himself. He has that within himself to be his own devotee. Own devotee. So appearing as his own devotee, the Supreme Lord, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself prays for refuge. Oh Nanda Nandana. Nanda Nanda means the son of Nanda, the son of King Nanda. Although I am your eternal servitor, I have fallen into the terrible ocean of material existence due to the fructification of my own deeds, karma. Please graciously consider me to be a particle of dust at your lotus feet. Hard to understand, but Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself, is feeling this, the mood of the devotee. Mahaprabhu appeared, Krishna appeared in the form of Mahaprabhu, specifically for this purpose, to relish, to taste the mood of Srimati Radharani as servant of him. Krishna felt he was missing out, being the one who was being given service by Radharani. He was thinking, well, what kind of pleasure is Radharani getting in all of this? And he wasn't feeling that. I don't want her to feel those wonderful things that she's obviously feeling. I want to know what that feels like. So he came in the mood, form the Bhava and Kanti, to see what is Radharani's, to experience what is Radharani, experiencing so much joy, even greater than Krishna, and he wanted to know what that is. Of course, that's how it's explained to us. And he was feeling so much different symptoms that have never before seen in the history of the world. So many pangs of separation, the ecstasy of separation, so intense, never displayed before. Only the Supreme Lord, as a devotee, can experience those things. Hare Krishna. At such high level. Mahaprabhu is teaching us also by his own example how to be a devotee. This is the unique quality of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Before Mahaprabhu, we did not know really the details of how to be a devotee. Krishna just told Sarvadharmam Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam, just surrender to me. Krishna told us that in the Bhagavad Gita. But he didn't tell us what comes next. What happens after you surrender? What's going on there in the spiritual domain? What do we do? What's it like? We can understand giving up so many things. That's called surrender, giving up this world. But then what's the gain? What's the positive side? So when Ramananda Roy and Mahaprabhu were talking about the different levels of surrender, Ramananda came to this shloka in the Gita. And when Mahaprabhu heard that, he told, no, there's something more. That's external. That is external. That's what you're giving up. But what is that internal surrender? Where is that coming from? And what is that like? So here, Mahaprabhu is showing us what this more and more intense surrender signifies. This kind of prayers are there. He didn't say, I'm liberated from this material world. He said, I'm entangled by this material world. This is the feeling of the devotee. We can read the prayers of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Always anxiously feeling that he's so much fallen in the material nature. He's not saying I'm liberated soul. He's saying I'm fallen soul. He's looking around and he doesn't see Krishna. He sees so many things, not Krishna. But he wants to see Krishna. He only wants to see Krishna. And yet his material condition allows him to see anything but Krishna. Everything but Krishna. So how do we see? What is going on? How do we see Krishna? When we're surrounded by what is not Krishna. It doesn't look like Krishna.
Is it fair to say that we can't model our own devotional behavior off of Mahaprabhu because he was after Krishna, and we were just saying that we are not after Krishna. So because we're following in the line of the devotees who learned from Mahaprabhu and not Mahaprabhu himself. Because Mahaprabhu never mentioned Radharani, did he? He was in the mood of Radharani, but he never talked about Radharani or devotion to her. That was only his disciples.
It is from Mahaprabhu that we learn about Radharani. Otherwise, we have not learned so much about Radharani and all the other scriptures and all the other teachers. It is only from Mahaprabhu that the name of Radha appears. Gopi Bharta Pada Kamalayor. The gopis, he mentions that in one of his Shikshastakam prayers. Gopi Bharta Pada Kamalayor, Dasu Dasana Dasa. He doesn't say Radharani directly, but he says gopis, who are the servants. And he wants to be the servant of the servant of the servants of the gopis who serve Radharani. Always trying to go to the lower position, taking himself. That is a lesson he's teaching us. Always go to the lower position. Sridhara used to tell, die to live. Don't hold yourself in the higher position. Try to take the servant position, servant of the higher. If you think you're the higher in the higher position, then you can't get to the serving mood. So never consider yourself the higher. Always consider yourself the servant of who is higher. And devotee sees everyone as higher. Higher than himself. Try to see like that. All are higher than me, and I am the servant. I am the servant. We don't want to be the master. We reject that position.
Maharaj? May I ask a question, please?
Yes.
if you, on reflection of this, very often, like in Christian scriptures, the parables are used in Upanishads, Vedas, Srimad Bhagavatam, etc., etc. Stories are used as a way of depicting and trying to get a message across. In the story of Mahavishnu, of Parvati and Shiva, and the relationship between Parvati and Shiva. Now, given that it was well, after, what was his first wife? Begins with an S. Samet. Oh goodness. Anyway, we get to the point of where Ganesh is outside protecting Parvati, and Shiva has just come down from his meditation and his indulgence in the graveyard and meditation and so on. And there's this is when the incident actually happens, obviously, is when Parvati has given birth to Ganesh, and then the beheading, and then the elephant, and so on and so forth. But nevertheless, the integrity of the family is unified in the various dispositions of the energetic propensities of the manifestations of the energies of Vishnu, actually, and as the sustainer and manifestation, manifester, destructor yet creator, and so on. That the, how should I say, that the reflection of the personification of unification is in Radha Krishna. And in other ways, there is different ways, because obviously Mahadev and Parvati, Shiva and Parvati, that relationship is also, and that family uniqueness. So, for example, may I just, sorry, you understand what I'm saying?
I'm not sure what question you're asking, though. What is your question?
The question that I'm asking is that particular, I'll show you, look, okay, very quickly. This is my Shiva, okay?
Okay.
Now, this Shiva is a deity unto itself, and it manifests all the theological and whatever else that is associated with that particular deity and so on. Yet that deity is without any, and there is no temple, no deity, whatever, to a Parvati. However, what there is, whether in clay form or any other form, that's Mahavishnu. But Vishnu, Mahavishnu, Radha Krishna will always be associated with Radharani. You can see deities such as this, but you as standalone Krishna, but in my temple room, which I'm not going to now, but there are deities of Radha Krishna. And the point I am making is like yin yang, positive, negative.
Yes, actually there are.
So there must be a reflection of that balance.
Okay. Yes, there are deities, if you want to call, of Shiva and Parvati. There are. But generally, we see Shiva by himself. But also in India, we'll find Krishna by himself on the altar. Many places, because they don't know so much about Radharani.
Oh, I've seen
the same thing with Shiva. Well, there'll be many Shiva by himself, but also with Parvati I've seen. They're not unusual. Generally, the Shakti,
Shakti Shanti.
yes, Shakti. Shakti is
Shakti.
Parvati, Radharani is called Shakti. And Krishna or Shiva, they call Shakti Mam, the possessor of energy. Yeah. So energy, that means the possessor means the property. He has property. To be a possessor is to have property that you possess. That means it's for you, for himself. What is property is for you. That means what is yours. So that property is something different from you, but it's yours. So that's meaning of,
Abkya Nam Ha Hai. Abkya Nam Ha Hai.
Okay, but so this meaning for yourself means property. That which is for you is your property, which is for you. So these properties of Krishna, just like you can also say sweetness. Sweetness is a property of sugar. Huh? And not the sugar itself, but it's a property of sugar. The white color of the sugar. When we have refined sugar, it's white. So the color of the sugar, it belongs to the sugar. Otherwise, if it's gore, it's a little gray, golden color, not white.
Jaggery.
So the color is associated with the thing that it's the color of. That's the property of that thing, and we call it property of that. Property of sugar is to be white, is to be sweet, and so forth. Property of gur is to be golden. So Krishna's property, that's his Shakti. Krishna's property is to have energy, his energy. He is not energy-less. He's full of energy, powerful. The energy belongs to him. That is his property. So, whenever we speak of the Shakti Mam, there's also the Shakti. The possessor of energy means there must be some energy that he possesses. So that's the meaning of Parvati. She is the energy, the Shakti of Shiva. And it's her who is the source of the Mahamaya, of the illusory energy. So energy is there also. And Maya is also an energy. Krishna says in the Gita, Maya Mamaya, Mamamaya Doratiya. My energy, my illusory energy, Doratiya, means it's very hard to cross beyond and see what's behind that. To see the face, to see the Lord who is beyond that energy of illusion. The energy of illusion means that we are not seeing Krishna. That energy is called Mahamaya. Very difficult to see Krishna. And this plane, which I was just explaining, is we don't see Krishna. But Krishna is there.
Of course.
Otherwise, what are we talking about? This is the problem. We're taking untruth as truth. We take this non-Krishna as the truth, the true existence. But the truth is there. But it's covered over. Truth is within us. Srila Sridhara was told it's not somewhere beyond. Beyond the world. There's no question. Beyond the world, beyond the universe, whatever. Krishna is within everything. And our only problem is that we don't see. Because of my own deeds, Mahaprabhu is telling here. The fructification of my own deeds, I am not seeing the Lord, and I am fallen into this material ocean of existence. So he's praying to Krishna, please accept me as a particle of dust. That's all we are, dust floating in the ocean here. But at least we can remember that we are property of Krishna. We are for him. Even though we're in this material world, we don't want to ignore or deny that fact. But at the same time, we're praying to the Lord, please take me as one of the particles of your divine self, to re-establish that memory, that knowledge that I am property, I'm a particle of something bigger than myself. And therefore we should not try to be so big here. Our position is not to think we are the controllers of everything, of anything. Well, we have some control.
Superficial.
Yeah. But to remember who is the real controller. Mahaprabhu is the real controller for us. Don't be worried about what's going on, all the difficulties and so forth. That's not our concern. Our concern is to let Mahaprabhu's dance go on. And we provide the footpath, the foot for him, our head, to put his foot on. So he can dance very nicely. Go on dancing.
Maharaj.
Yes.
So when you say that now, you have to say that, I mean, in Christian terms, that would be like the Saint Michael with the trident on the head of the devil, but it's also the manifestation of Shiva's submission to the rage of Kali. And there's where Kali manifested. So Shiva just simply said, "Oh, enough is enough is enough," and there's a come. Trident down, and Shiva. This is Shiva's way of understanding that this is the balance and this incredible chemistry of how can anyone ever understand? Like I say, you know, nobody can make a blade of grass, but the chemistry of emotion between and all the lokas and Goloka and so on and so forth, all too much to, but whoever appreciation made of it. But thank you very much, Maharaj. I understand very much.
Okay. Yes,
Mhm.
our business is not to understand, but that is for those who are not have no connection with the higher plane, with Gurudev. Those who understand what is the real controller here in this world and what is the real purpose, put their complete faith in Krishna and let him dance. And let him dance. We are just the particles in his dance. He can step on our heads, he can do anything he wants. That is his business. And our business is just to keep our faith and love steady, and everything else we leave to him. You know, they have one saying, let go and let God. Very nice. Then next verse is, we'll read one more, okay? One more verse. Who would like to read this? Ask it.
Sarva sadguno vigraha atma pradohar eva goptridhena varhaniya kaha panditastvad aparam saranam samyad bhakta priyad rita gira srida kritagyat sarvandadhati srihrido bhajatu bhikkaman Atmanamapyuchaya pachayo yasya Srimad Akrurasya.
Okay. So only the self-giving Lord Hari, the Supreme Good, should be petitioned for guardianship. You give your affection to your devotees. Your word is truth. You are the ever grateful friend. Can any intelligent person thus take refuge in anyone but you? You fulfill all desires of the sincere souls that serve you, giving your very self to them, and yet you are neither augmented nor diminished thereby. So who else should we take shelter from? Only the Supreme Lord. That is a proper shelter. That is a perfect shelter. What more can we find in guardianship than from him? Who is guarding even our guardians? Who is guiding even our guardians? If we're going to take shelter, we have to take shelter of the highest. That is Krishna. And Krishna says, Acharya mam vijaniyat. I come to you as the Acharya. Devotees don't think they can have direct contact with the supreme will of the Lord. Realistically, we have only connection with Gurudev. Krishna is infinite, and we are finite. What kind of connection can we have with that infinite will? But we can have connection with Gurudev, that by Krishna's arrangement, he comes in a finite form, so we can have a connection with him in that way. And that is called Gurudev. So we take shelter of Gurudev and we can be sure. And in fact, the devotee must have perfect faith that by taking a direction from Guru, he is taking direction from Krishna. He doesn't require any other consideration. That perfect faith must be there. That Gurudev is not just another ordinary person in this world. That he is the representative of Krishna. And by taking shelter of Gurudev, by having that faith, that we are taking shelter of Gurudev, we are taking shelter of Krishna. And then our spiritual development will be assured. Then it will be assured we will come to the full realization, self-realization, self-determination, just by that act of surrender to Gurudev. And that faith that Gurudev is the full representative of the Supreme Lord. Very simple and very sublime. Hari bol, Hari bol. Okay. Any other question, comments? Vanchakalpatarubhisha kripasinibhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Thank you so much for woos. My Dandavad pranams to you all. Hi, Gurudev. Happy Janmashtami and happy appearance day of Sri Prabhupada. Have a wonderful day, wonderful programs, celebration.
Jai Om Vishnupad Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai. Thank you so much. Dhanyavad.
Jai Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai.
Jai.